There we go.
There we go. Oh, hey, look, it's Alice. How's it going, Alice?
Hi, Alice.
Hi, Alice.
We have some familiar faces on Dick.
Oh, on lick.
On Lick. You remember Big Gorgeous. How could you forget? How could you possibly ever forget? We got Big Gorgeous, we got Young Potato, and Shirley Sugarfoot is around somewhere. She'll be popping in at some point. Thank you for being here. I love you guys so much.
Thanks for having us.
Big Gorgeous, you look a little bit different. What did you do something with your hair or something?
I was at an Eyes Wide Shut orgy party last night. There was flesh and fur and masks everywhere. I didn't know where I began and they ended, and they began, I ended. It was all blur. And then I came out with this mask.
What a wonderful opening monologue.
And a real bad taste in my mouth, or a good taste, depending on what your tastes are like.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah. Could you describe it?
Common shit.
That's a good flavor, you know. It's an acquired taste. You have to
Speaking
eat
of
shit a lot
flavors,
before you start to like it, in my experience. You beautiful people have a tour coming up.
Yes.
The Yellow Snow Cone Tour.
Doesn't that sound fun? A yellow snow cone tour?
It sure does. I'm ready to eat so much yellow snow with you guys.
Does the internet get jokes? It means piss.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Whoa, that
Oh,
changed.
you tricked me again.
That
No
really
kink
changes things.
shaming,
Now I'm
Alice.
double down on it. Now I'm super down.
Yes, Alex is a piss man.
Who's providing the piss?
Would you like to be one of the suppliers?
I would be honored.
That's what we should do. We should have somebody from each city pee in a cup and mix all the pee together and dump it all over the snow.
Yes, all of our pee can conjoin onto one snow cone.
Ah, I didn't know you guys use a sampler on tour.
We gotta start talking about pee. I can only get so hard.
You have a well, brace yourself, because I don't know if you knew this, but you have a whole tour coming up called the Yellow Snow Cone Tour.
Oh my God.
The first lick of the
You hear
tour.
that?
Yeah, I heard it. I said it. The first lick of the tour. The first lick of that delicious snow cone starts September 29th. And where's that starting at?
We are in gorgeous Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yep. I know, you never heard of it.
I bet there's some nice bumps and hills out there.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's the home of all the Amish. The Amish love us.
Oh yeah, I'm aware that you guys have a huge presence with the Amish. They're all over social media about it.
That's right.
They better be.
The second link of the tour starts October 27th. Where's that one at?
We start that one in Baltimore, Maryland. So on the first lick, we're gonna do Lancaster, and then we go to Wilmington, Delaware, and then we go all the way out to Cleveland on Saturday. So that's gonna be a long trek, and it's our very first ever rave. Yep. So this random guy just saw us. We were playing in Canton, Ohio last year, and this random guy just saw us, and he said, "How much would it cost to get you guys to play this rave?" And he like gave us a guarantee, which, you know, we can, if you guys are interested at all in like the business aspect of this, we can certainly get into that at some point, but we don't get many guaranteed shows. So it was awesome to get this guarantee. And then the fun part about it is he's like, all right, I'm going to give you guys the prime slot. Like we go on at like 1 a.m. And that's because I think it goes from like 10 o'clock until like 6 a.m. And the guy that's running this is actually getting married. So I'm an ordained minister. So we're actually going to be marrying him after like our set in the middle of the show.
You're going to be marrying
that show we ever did.
Yep. Well, it's going to be, Big Gorgeous doesn't even know this yet because we really didn't go over it. But the plan is going to be that I'm going to be like all serious. And like when I'm going to like do like serious vows. And then like I picture Big Gorgeous over my shoulder saying, do you promise to fuck her in the ass? Oh, you know, all that kind of like stuff.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. That's not part of regular wedding vows?
I know. I don't know what I can tell you and what I can't.
Yeah. Big Gorgeous has always stood behind the minister at every wedding he's been to, whether they wanted him there or not.
Yeah.
That sounds big glorious.
Yeah. And then we're just dropping. Then on Sunday, we come down to a place called Maple Springs, which is kind of right outside of Cleveland. We were supposed to be back in Canton again at this really amazing venue called Buzzbin. It's been around forever. It's like the place for like every indie band to play. And unfortunately, they closed their doors. They've been around forever and they're done. So the bands that we're playing with got us this other show really close to Cleveland. And then from there, we go to we have off on Monday. We have 1 day off on the tour. And then we go to Milwaukee, Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, Cincinnati, and Columbus. So that's the first lick. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then on the second lick starts October 27th. And tell us about that.
Yep. So that's Baltimore. And then that one will be a little more like, so the first one it's weird because it's a couple East Coast shows. And then we head out for all Midwest. And then this one is more just East Coast. So we have Baltimore on Thursday. And then we go to Long Island, New York, and then Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, which is kind of like about a half hour outside of Philadelphia. And then we do Cape May, New Jersey, which is like on the beach. It's like near Atlantic City. And then we have Monday off again. And then we're doing Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Tuesday, and then Frederick, Maryland on Wednesday. Thursday's New York City, and then Friday, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and then Saturday is Philadelphia. All the shows are going to be great, but I have to tell you about the show we're doing on Friday night. And I'm supposed to call you guys Alex and Cordy, right? Is that cool?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you didn't have like stage names that I was supposed to be using or anything.
So with affection, honestly.
So we had the show. We do really well in Mechanicsburg. It's probably like our best city because we're all from central Pennsylvania. And we have had the show booked at this place called Love Drafts. About 2 weeks after the show was booked, the owner called me and he said, I'm going to put you in touch with this promoter. There's this really big band from Europe that wants to play this night. It's the only time they can play. They're totally cool with your music and they want you to open for them. So I was like, at first I'm like, wait a minute now, this is our hometown. I don't know if we should be opening for anybody. And then I looked them up and they have 51 million views on TikTok. And I'm like, oh my God. So they're called Punk Rock Factory. And they cover all Disney songs and like 1990s TV theme songs. And they turn them into punk songs.
Awesome.
They cover anything that's like famous at the time. Like, you know how those Stranger Things songs became famous, like that song by Kate Bush from the 80s.
If I don't care,
like running up that hill or whatever. They just covered that too. Like they cover anything that's like super famous, you know, but they cover it in like a punk rock style. You know.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even know you could make punks in a factory. I thought they were all dead. I thought you had to do it yourself. That's great to hear.
Yeah, isn't that refreshing?
You just need enough hair spike glue and cheap whiskey and plastic jug vodka, and they come out of the woodwork. Yeah,
Yep.
That makes sense. You just got to set the right trap.
exactly.
Do you
And
want
this, what is this, Big Gorgeous? Is this our 6th tour?
Yes.
6 or 7, I guess. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't. 2018 was our first 4 shows. That was like a mini tour, and then we did 2019 spring, fall 2019, and then 2020, and then the pandemic. So that was 4.
Yeah.
And then fall of last year we did a tour.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
5, and then we did one this past spring. So that's 6. So this would be the 7th.
7. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That sounds lucky. And if I
Yeah.
understand correctly, you guys aren't really slowing down. You're releasing an album after that, right? And then
Hopefully
you're gonna
next
come
year.
visit the home of the rabbit hole, right? And hit a bunch more cities.
Yep, exactly. We're not exactly sure when the album will be out. That sometime next year. But yes, we are going to be. We already. It's just crazy how it works in the music industry. How far in advance you have to book these tours. We're
Oh, yeah.
already planning for January of next year before we even start anything that we're doing in the fall of this year.
I won't ask for any spoilers or any details, but could you go ahead and tell Alice when you'll be in her town, Nashville, so she can put it on her calendar?
Yes, I know Alice is very busy, and
She
we
is.
need to get these
I
dates
never
in
see
there.
her, but she's always around. She always sees me. She's kind of a voyeur like that.
Yeah.
Well, I sent her the save the date, but it probably didn't arrive yet. But I know you have a lot of viewers and listeners in Nashville, so we will be ready to make our triumphant return to Nashville at the Cobra on Wednesday, the 11th of January. And Cordy, why don't you tell everybody who we're going to be playing with that night?
I can spoil it. Oh my goodness, I was unsure. Okay. So Streaking Violet, that's me. We'll be opening for them. I'm super stoked because that's actually the first time I ever performed with my drum pedal and my distorted synth. It was a very sentimental show for me. It opened a lot of doors, and this year has just been crazy chaotic for me to the point where after my last show, I was like, all right, I'm taking a hiatus. I'm calling it quits for a minute. I'll let you miss me. I'll see you later, guys. So I'm super stoked for that. It's gonna be a big one.
Awesome.
Very exciting.
There's nary a band I would rather play with than Big Gorgeous.
And then there's a
You're
new.
gonna meet are the Nasty Boys gonna be at that show or no?
No, because they don't start with us till Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you have a new track and video coming out as well.
No.
We do. Yeah, we're just
vi-
putting the finishing touches. I'll let Big Gorgeous talk a little more about our new song, but we are in the mixing and mastering process right now.
Yes. And it hopefully it comes out like the week before tour? Is that what we're planning on?
Mid-September. Yep.
Mid-September. We're going through the last stages now. We're hoping to get it done in the next week or 2. And it is about psychic surgery. Would you like to expand on that thought?
Yeah.
Please.
Do you guys, do either of you know, Alex, Cordy, do you know what psychic surgery is? No?
If I
Cordy?
did, I don't remember. I think they took that part out.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting. And this kind of talks a little bit to the point of how, no, or not yet. You want,
Is that
Shirley
like
Sugarfoot is hot, lubed up. She just wiped her bottom and she's ready to make an appearance.
Oh,
my
You wiped your bottom.
Woo! We got Shirley in the house.
Oh, you guys are in the same place? I thought she was coming out from like somewhere else. You guys are in the same place?
She is not
Yeah,
flirting around.
She's in Pennsylvania.
Thanks
Yeah.
for being here.
Oh, you're going with sunglasses off?
Foot. I enjoy Ms. Foot.
So I was just telling him about psychic surgery. Did you even know what psychic surgery was until
Not before Young Potato taught me what it was.
So I'm like obsessed with like the old like circus sideshow. Like my whole basement is decorated in like serial killer memorabilia, and I have all this like old weird oddity stuff. And one of our best friends that actually helps kind of like direct our live show. His name's John Westford. He's a professional illusionist, magician. And I'm going to get to him in a second why he's important. But psychic surgery was started in like the 1960s. So it was this thing where people, mainly in the United States, were getting like diagnosed with cancer, and they were going over to the Philippines, and they were paying these people to perform psychic surgery on them. So it's a barehanded procedure where, you tell the psychic surgeon where the cancer is. They lay you down on the table, and just using their bare hands, they open up your body and they pull the cancer out of your body. And obviously it's all
Did you guys ever see Man on the Moon, the Andy Kaufman movie with Jim Carrey?
Yeah, I love Andy Kaufman.
Right. So Andy Kaufman was a victim of psychic surgery, and that surgery that he gets at the end of the movie, that's psychic surgery. That's where that guy takes out a tumor or whatever out of Jim Carrey's body, but it ends up just being like a sponge. He sees him like wring out the sponge. That's psychic surgery. It's fake. Totally. Well, yeah.
No, it's definitely real. It's everything that sounds fake is real.
Exactly.
Yeah, it really is like a shame, like all these people that got the false hope of everything. And I don't know if you ever heard of this guy by the name of James Randi. He was this like really old like magician. His whole life he just spent like dedicating to like debunk like psychics. Like he would just go around and like just destroy these like psychics. And he offered $1 million to like anybody who could prove that they were a real psychic, and nobody was ever able to do it. Well, there's a famous bit in the 80s. James Randi was on Johnny Carson, and he performed psychic surgery, and it just blew like the whole country away because like how graphic and like everything it was. And he made it into like this crazy comedy bit. So anyway, I just love psychic surgery, and I'm like, Big Gorgeous, we need a song about psychic surgery. So
And
that is our new song. It's all about like so now the cool part is going to be, and this is the really cool dynamic of how Big Gorgeous and I work together, is he kind of quarterbacks a lot of the songwriting. We always say we do everything together, but he quarterbacks that. And then he'll send me things, and then I'll give him some notes and some advice and everything else. But then with the live show, I kind of quarterback that. So we're not allowed to write any song that will not be cool on stage. So we're going to do like all kinds of like crazy stuff on stage, with this song. And we're actually planning to perform it live on the upcoming first lick of the Yellow Snow Cone tour. And then the reason I mentioned John Westford, our buddy, the magician, is because when we do the music video, he is going to be performing some psychic surgery in the video. So it should be really cool if we can pull it off.
Yes.
That's awesome. I'd never heard of that.
Generally, the Big Gorgeous is a big fan of pulling things out of orifices. So this song gives us a wonderful vehicle to do so.
Right up your alley. Right up your ankle.
Yeah.
Yes. And live on stage, there will be things being pulled out of Miss Sugarfoot when we do it live. I can't wait.
Yay.
Can't wait to see that.
Miss Foot, I love this whole Unabomber look you have going on.
Yeah, very, very Ted Kaczynski over here.
Gorgeous.
Shirley, what do you want to be when you grow up? Besides a bomber.
Or a candy maker, or a stripper, or I don't know. One of those things.
All of them.
A stripper. That's great. That's a great recipe.
Yeah. What, the sky's the limit. Do all of it. What about you, young potato?
Well, how old am I? 117, right, Big Gorgeous?
At least.
So this is my retirement right here.
But when you grow up, what do you want to be?
Oh boy.
What
does young potato want to be when
young
he grows
potato
up?
Will never be old though. So
Have you ever heard me get asked a question? Don't answer it just immediately.
never.
Right, wrong, or indifferent. I usually just answer.
I have an opinion on how I wish you would grow up. I wish you would grow up to be a person who knows how to properly wipe his own bottom.
That's not gonna happen.
Right. I know. A guy could dream.
I guess it was wrong of me to assume that young potato would ever grow up. So how about you, Big Gorgeous?
What do I want to be when I grow up?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm fucking perfect in every way, so I don't know how I could get any better.
that's a good point.
My
Exactly.
role model.
So,
Now I want to be Big Gorgeous when I grow up.
Exactly. Look at
I
this
guess
shirt. It says shit in French. It's awesome. I'm awesome.
that is awesome. You are awesome. Yeah. What do you guys want to be when you're reincarnated?
I want to be like one of those dildos that only gets used for like pegging. That's yeah.
Oh, me too. Actually, that's a really good answer. And I never cheat off of your paper, but I am today.
Yeah, a great one.
Yeah, it is great.
Shirley?
Reincarnated. What would I be?
Oh, one of those lantern flies that you like.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, because everybody smashes them and
Not
they'll be
me.
dead so fast.
Then you
That's
just
all.
get
That's
started
all I
out.
care about. Do you?
I
Are
know,
those
I
lantern
got it.
flies like everywhere? Does everybody have them now, or is that just like a
It's just up
East
here.
Coast thing? Oh,
Like
have you heard about this
firefly?
though?
Like
Now they have fireflies in
No,
Nashville.
not
No,
Yeah.
not fireflies. They're these.
Invasive species.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're supposed to like kill them immediately. There's like thousands of them like all over Pennsylvania, and like everybody just is going around killing them, and I'm like trying to keep everyone alive. Like that's my whole mission is to save these lantern flies.
Can I
Maybe you
come
can
back
make
as
up
a
your own
mermaid?
thing, like a phoenix lantern fly, so that when somebody smashes you, you just like poof, you pop up again.
Now I know.
Oh, okay,
Now I know
yeah.
what I'm not your dildo anymore. I switched.
I want to be a mermaid when I come
Nice.
back.
Do
mermaid
you
is
wanna
nice.
be my dildo?
But then-
That's another song. We're writing songs here.
If you were a mermaid,
love
would you be Shirley Sugarfin?
Sugarfin, I love it.
Shirley Sugarfin.
What about
That's
you,
I
Neef?
already
great.
got the mermaid hair. I love
Yeah.
it.
What do you? But what about you, Neef? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Oh, hey, oh,
Oh, hey, Neat.
Whoa, where'd you
How
come
are-
from?
you know how I am, or I'm always bouncing around a rabbit hole.
True.
When I grew up, well, that's the thing is, I read this thing written in lights just today, and I've read it before, and it said, "Don't grow up, it's a trap."
Hmm.
Right.
So-
Good.
True.
It is
Don't
a
grow
trap.
up, unless
You
you're
know.
gonna be a dildo.
Right. I mean, but that's a kind of a good trap, you know.
Yeah. Don't grow up unless you're gonna be a dildo. That's a bumper sticker. That's what that
There you
is.
go. There you go.
Yeah. What about you, Cordy?
I mean, this is gonna sound like a non-answer, but like I feel like I spent so much of my time, like my life in fear and like paralyzed and not moving, and I feel like I'm finally on my path and like doing exactly what I want to do. I feel like right now I'm exactly who I want to be, you know, like this is the life I want to be living. I'm on it. I just want to keep on this trajectory and like excel at it.
It's a great answer, but are you sure you don't want to be a dildo like us?
Yeah. I mean,
Come
it
on.
sounds enticing, doesn't it? Come
I want to
on.
be able to
I like
teleport.
this.
Like maybe I want to be a Cordy that teleports.
Yes.
There you
Oh,
go.
We
teleporting.
love teleporting.
Teleporty. That sounds like
Teleporting.
that sounds like a porta potty now, and I don't like it.
Or like
A
a phone
Cordy
booth.
potty.
Or like a phone booth, huh?
So I had a question, and you guys are positive people, so if you're like that question's not for me, you're welcome to just be like, shoot a fly. But you guys are some of the most kind, welcoming, energetic, like open-minded people I know. But you know, at the same time, you're not everybody's flavor of snow cone. And I know that you have encountered at least some censorship, you know.
Yeah, we
and
got kicked
traveled
out of our first
endeavors.
show on this last tour. It was awesome.
Yeah, so like, can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, how often does that happen to you? Like, what
We'd
is
be
that like?
honored to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, please do.
So unfortunately, Ms. Foot wasn't with us for this. So this was just a duet performance with me and the Potato. It was the last tour. It was in. We could say what city, right? We're not.
Yeah, I'll give the name of the venue if you want.
Oh,
Oh,
go
I
ahead.
didn't think you would.
No, we don't need to smack. We don't need to.
See, Big
Bad
Gorgeous
luck.
is kind, isn't he?
Yeah,
Big
but
Gorgeous.
Big merciful.
we were in Frederick, Maryland, and
Oh,
we were.
well, back up a second, BG.
Okay.
So what this is, and again, Cordy, I know you're going to be out touring soon and doing things, and it's amazing. And I'm knocking on wood here, but in 7 tours, we have never lost a show. Like we, just in the middle of a tour, things happen. You talk to bands all the time, and it's like, you guys never lost a show. Like we lose 1 or 2 every time we go out. Now we were on tour in March of 2020 on our way to play South by Southwest, and COVID
Wow.
happened, but we played until March 16th, and then that was it. Everything was cut off from there. But we were scheduled to play in, and this is weird because they sound similar. We were scheduled to play in Fredericksburg, Virginia on a Thursday. We had a show in Richmond on Wednesday. And again, the venue, 2 weeks before the show, the venue closed down forever. So we were just relentlessly reaching out to everybody we know, bands, promoters, everybody. And finally, this really cool guy in Frederick, Maryland got in touch with us. And he said, look, there's an open mic. You see how bad this is to start? There's an open mic at a brewery in Frederick.
The Poland.
Yeah. And he said, look, obviously it's an open mic, nobody gets paid. He said, but I love you guys so much. He had never even seen us. He just heard of us. He said, I'll throw you $100 if you want to come up here and play. Maybe you'll sell a little bit of merch, and who knows what'll happen. So we were like, yeah, sure. Why not? So we get up, and it's certainly not a proper music venue at all. It's a brewery. And, it's just like people with acoustic guitars and, a lot of like just older white dudes, playing acoustic guitar. And it's like,
most people in those situations like would get like all nervous and like, oh, they're right, blah, blah, blah. But me and Young Potato, we like get juiced up in situations like that. Like we were going to add 250% at that show. Like we were giving those fuckers.
Yeah, you're like, they never seen this shit before.
We were being especially risque and just pretty foul just because of the mood of the show. And we knew we just, it was fly or die, man. In those situations, you just got to give it. You just got to be an animal, and we got cut off after halfway through our set.
And it was at a specific moment.
Yeah.
Cordy, when we were talking the other day, you were saying how much it takes out of you just to emotionally get up on stage and perform in front of people. But with us, we can get into these characters, and I don't feel like there's anything I can do as Young Potato that could get me in trouble, Al, in real life. I just don't think it's possible. And that's not a good way to live on stage. So
Great.
yeah, we're like halfway through our set, and we have this song called Perhaps, and it's about the anus. It's a song where I teach people about the anus, and I talk about gerbling and all these things. So I finish the song, and what I do at the end of the song is I run off a stage, I go behind the changing screen, and Big Gorgeous has the has the crowd before we start the next song, which is normally Shirley comes out and does the merch pitch. Well, she wasn't there, so the merch pitch is on a screen. It's gonna come on a screen with like her voice and everything. And now I'm getting changed into my cheerleading costume for Crack in Her Hand. So here I am, and I see like a guy come up on stage, plugs are being pulled, and Big Gorgeous is just going like this. So here I am, half dressed as a cheerleader, just walking out on stage like a sad puppy dog.
No respect for the gear, just like unplugging things.
Yep. And we were really worried about time that night because they wanted the music to be over by like 9. That's a problem right there. If we're at a place where you can't have music past 9, we probably shouldn't fucking play there.
You got paid ahead, right?
Yeah. So we were
Then,
like,
then
we
you got
probably
paid
should.
time and a half is what happened.
Yeah, and I was thinking we were probably are gonna need to cut a song, and that would be the song that we would typically cut, but we were just so like, no, we're going for it. But the cool thing about it was, you know, it was a better crowd than we actually thought, and for being an open mic, and we made some like big fans that night. And everybody that was there at the venue working, like the bartenders, were all in bands and they loved it. But the owner got a call and about, you know, like somebody was there and told the owner, and that's kind of what led. So they were like all super nice. And, you know, the promoter not only paid us, but he bought $100 worth of merch from us. And he booked us for a show on this upcoming tour at a proper music venue in Frederick.
Hell yeah.
So that's why you don't sit home and take a night off. If you're out on the road and you're touring, you should play shows.
Hustle on the grind.
Now that's what I call making yellow snow cones out of lemons.
That's right.
Exactly.
Everybody loves an underdog. Everybody loves somebody that stands in the mouth of the lion.
Yeah.
Well, we were certainly in the mouth of the fucking lion that night. We were going at 100,000 miles an hour. Like we were probably being more risque and brutal than we are at most shows. Like I knew I was. Like I was just giving it because I could tell everyone was annoyed. So I was just like, boom, let's do
Hell
it.
yeah.
I feel you. I feel
in.
like you take those biggest chances when the deck is stacked against you and you don't back down in fear is when you have your biggest triumphs. I've had some moments like that, and we'll talk about them off the air. We'll exchange battle scars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's always, and again, when we are sitting here, we had so many great shows. We did a live radio performance, an in-studio performance. We had amazing shows on the last tour. And the one thing we're talking about is what most people would deem as the worst show in your career. And that's all we're talking about is that one show right now.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah.
And we're probably, you know, that song we got kicked out for, we don't really plan on playing anymore.
But not because of that, though.
Not because of that. We just have new material. But I mean, I kind of think we should play it just in Frederick.
That's a great point.
Oh, you got to.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. What about a new
we
song?
already have the
New
bit
song, like
for it.
this is the song that got us kicked out.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, guess what we had 3 shows after that. And every night, because the show starts out where I'm putting like all this medical stuff on, because you know the song is about the anus and gerbling. And I said to the next night we were in Roanoke, and I said, Roanoke, this next song got us kicked out of the venue last night. Do you want us to play it tonight? Now, what do you think that response was when I said that?
Oh my God, yeah, that's gold.
Exactly. Yeah.
Can't buy that.
Right. And it turns out most people are into gerbling anyway. They love the song.
Yeah,
So-
it's a pretty common fetish.
Exactly. See?
Well, and this is a perfect song to describe Miss Sugarfoot here, who has an angelic voice. She majored in musical theater, you know, toured with, you know, theater groups, everything. And she always says that we have the most beautiful songs, gorgeous melodies, and then we ruin all of our own songs with the lyrics.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. That's kind of our formula. Write good songs and then ruin them with lyrics. Yeah.
It's your party. You can cry if you want to.
Yeah.
That's the formula.
It's a very Frank Zappa way to approach things.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
Yeah.
So yeah, so you said 2018 is when your first tour started, or 2017?
2018 was the first like mini tour. Our very first show ever was in Indianapolis at the Melody Inn. I don't know if you're familiar with that place, but that was our very first show. There was probably about, I don't know, what do you say, Potato? Probably about 5 or 6 people there.
There wasn't that many people there. Are you crazy?
Well, you have been spreading terror and corrupting the nation wonderfully for many years, and I just want to say thank you for your service. You've done a great job corrupting the youth and bringing light to horrendous things. So thank
And it's not over. We got new material.
Hell yeah,
Material
bro.
coming out.
yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
We're
Yeah,
playing
Yeah,
some
thanks.
songs on the tour.
we're excited for it. You know, and that's weird. And I'm curious what you guys think about this, because as a band, we're, in doing this now, there's people out there that have seen us 6-7 times, but we're certainly not like Guns N' Roses, who like just has to play certain songs, when they tour. But it's like, what is that mix of, we try to sprinkle like a new song in every time we go on tour, but then that typically means we have to take a song out. And then, now we're starting to get to that point where people are starting to get a little disappointed because they wanted to hear, a song that they now know for a while. And that's especially on the last tour, we brought 2 new songs, and one of them was Too Much Love, which was our first single since our last album, which we knew we were going to do, but we at least released that a couple weeks before the tour. But we did another song that we have never we still haven't released it. So that's kind of interesting to just kind of hit people with something that they have no chance of hearing. But I'm just curious with you guys, when you go see somebody, like, are you looking forward to the new material that nobody ever heard before? Or do you want to just hear kind of what you know and love?
I expect you to read my mind and know which tracks I want you to play, and then you can play new ones too. But you just have to read my mind and know which ones. That's my expectation in any performance.
It's funny, like when we had our first set, and then we took some old songs off to make room for the new ones. We had that song Christmas in Hazleton, which never got a good crowd reaction. No one ever talked about it. And then we took it out of the set, and people are like, "Oh, why didn't you play Christmas in Hazleton? Like, that's my favorite song." And I'm like, "What? Well, why didn't you tell us 5 tours ago?"
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the other thing too. You have to be really careful about how long your set is. That the old phrase of "you gotta leave them wanting more" is so important. And don't get me wrong, it's live music that we're performing, but we really, also care, as you guys have all seen us, a ton about the theatrics of our show. Yeah. So it's like so hard to play a new song, because it's not just playing a new song and shoegazing. It's an entire like choreographed production. Like when you see what we're planning on doing for Psychic Surgery, it's just gonna be like a lot, like to do live. So much goes into that, but you want to walk off stage. We feel that 45 minutes is the time. And some people tell us, "Oh, you've been around for a little while now, you could go up to 50 or 55 minutes." And we just think 45 is the right amount to keep that.
Until we're playing Madison Square Garden, 45 is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually I've always felt that, especially because y'all put the theatrics in there, it kind of, and I mean, y'all might experience something different areas of the country, but it seems like you can get away with taking a little more time. People kind of expect it to go on, and I mean, the theatrics you guys do, it doesn't seem like it's that long. You guys can do 45 minutes and still, I know I was still like, want more. So.
Well, thanks. That's the best compliment you can give us, because we want you to feel like, wow, that was 45 minutes. It seemed like 20. That's awesome to hear that.
And it's a constant struggle when we're practicing. We're like, "That's too long, cut it down. It's too long, cut it down." We're always like throwing back, everything starts out what we think is like an eternity of length, but probably isn't that long. And then we cut it down to where we still think it's still long, but people will be okay with it. And to hear that you still think it's not long enough is cool.
Yeah.
No matter how long your set gets, don't ever cut crack in her hand when you come to Nashville, because I'll burn down your van and crucify you. I'll give you a spanking young potato.
Yeah.
We already discussed that. It doesn't work if he likes it.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
true.
Don't tempt him.
I was gonna say, if you spank young potato, we're not gonna have crack in the set. Like,
you asked for it.
After party.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the new music, do you want my kink, my opinion, or do you want my business advice?
Oh, your kink. Did you say kink?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure.
I'm from the deep south. I have to play to my audience.
Yes. All the above. We would like all the
Yeah.
above.
Well, I mean, I am a civilian, so everybody enjoys a song that they know and they can sing along to and they've heard before. Everybody loves a favorite, but new material is important. It's your bread and it's gonna be your bread and butter. It's your future. It's what you're hoping is gonna sustain you and keep you going. So obviously you have to play your new material, and it's what you're excited about because you haven't played it a million times. It's what is gonna make people fall in love with your new material because they haven't heard it yet, and they're gonna see it for the first time that way. I think, to make sure that nobody's disappointed at your shows, an additional way to promote it is to get the fans in each city involved in advance. Maybe do a small contest to make people comment, tag a friend, and participate in a survey, win a piece of merch, and vote on what song they want to hear that's not off of your new album in advance, and then play the most popular few that's older.
Yeah.
Would be my business advice.
There you
Awesome.
go.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good
That's why I
advice.
enjoyed in our band.
I think
I'm joining. I was invited. You can't take it back.
yeah, you make a good point, Cordy. There has to be a good balance of the two, like
Mhm.
new stuff and old stuff. You got to do the fanfare, and also like you can't just play the same set forever also.
Yeah,
Right.
that gets old, and when you're tired of your own shit, people can see it, and they're gonna get tired of it too. Because when you're on stage as a performer, it's really just an exchange of energy. Like music is a lot like sex, except better. It's just a big orgy on stage, especially when you're big gorgeous.
Especially.
Big
Yep.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's true. I have my hands full with the guitar, so fingers go in and out of my butt. I have no idea whose they are. They could be Potato, Ms. Foot, an audience member. I have no
Could be
idea.
toast.
Right.
But
Who
the
knows?
beauty of it is when you got a solid band unit, it's the thrill of not knowing, but knowing that it's always good just makes it that much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can really do no wrong. It's like yeah.
Yeah. Tell us
Well,
that more. Please encourage us.
Unless you're in
you.
Frederick, Maryland, and then you can only do wrong.
Right.
Yeah, we did
But
wrong
it's
that night.
okay. Because you may be bad, but you're perfectly good at it.
I don't think we did
Right.
wrong. I think we did too much right and they couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And we actually started recording another song that will probably not be a single. It'll just be on the new album. But Big Gorgeous, do you want to tell him the name of that song, and I can tell him the story behind it?
Well, yes. So one of our new songs that this is not going to be probably not released till the album comes out. But as you can tell, I'll give you a little background. As you can tell, me and Young Potato and Ms. Foot are all perfect physical specimens, and we all try to take care of ourselves, and we do everything to work out and get massage. So once in a while, we partake in massage parlors, and there is a place in. Do you want to take it from here, Potato, or do you want me to keep going?
No, yeah, it's in the East Village of New York City, which is really close to where I live. It's a Russian and Turkish bathhouse that's been around since 1868, I think.
Right, and it's hot, it's dirty, they're mean, it's great.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you've ever been to like a nice spa, like at a really nice,
That's where I go.
like a nice hotel, or like in Vegas at a spa, like this is the dive bar of spas. Like it's
Hell
filthy.
yes. I'm a dive bar bitch. This is it.
Well, you would love the
Rapid
Russian and
aluminum
Turkish
bake that
bathhouse. And it's crazy because the one room hasn't changed since they opened 150 years ago or whatever it is. And it's 265 degrees in this sauna. So you can bake bread at that temperature. You can only stay in there for about 8 seconds before you have to just dump cold water just endlessly over your body. So the first time I went there, they have this deal where you get like this like salt scrub and what is that called, where they like take the thing? That's salt scrub, right?
Yeah.
And then what else? It's like 3 things. They do like 3 things to you. Oh, mud, they put mud over you. Anyway,
So somebody
my
else
buddy,
scrubs you, right? It's not a self scrub.
no, it's an old Russian dude that
Oh.
is like just scrubbing your body.
Right. And
So
you,
like,
and
can
you
I
go to
request
the,
a woman though?
No,
Uh,
I mean,
no.
as a woman, I want to know.
I guess there is a woman there that does them for women. Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, you can. You can.
You can
But,
request it, but you
my-
can't have it.
My,
Al
my
likes
friend-
going to the guy that roughs him up, though, right? Like you.
yeah, so
you don't like
I always go
the
to
guy that
every
I
time.
roughs him
didn't
up.
know this the first time, but I went to this gentleman by the name of Victor, and I was told by my friend that when you go in there and you lay down on your back, if you don't put your knees up, he's gonna jack you off. So I'm like, well, shit, I don't really want Victor to jack me off. At least I just
Unhappy
wasn't feeling
ending.
it,
I've
right?
always
I just
wondered.
jacked off and I didn't need it again. Nothing against Victor. So I put my knees up and Victor starts jacking me off. The prick told me the opposite of what you're supposed to do. So then I'm like, I immediately put my knees down and he's like, "Ooh, you relax and enjoy." And then he takes like a hose. They have this hose and he like shoves the hose up my ass.
Yeah.
And I'm just on the table, like, I feel like I'm getting shocked.
Right.
I
Didn't
can
you say
no
he was
longer
like,
go.
and during the whole time, he's like, "That's a good boy." Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
he's like, "Oh, you're a good boy." And he's like slapping me in my stomach and everything, just beating me up like all rough. And then he sits you up real nice and he like washes your hair like right in front of you. And then right when you're done, he puts his arms on your shoulder and he goes, "How much you tip me?"
Yeah. So anyway, that's our new song. That's going to be our new
So that's
song. That's what our new song's about. That's gonna
Wow.
be on the album.
I want previews.
I want Victor on the podcast.
Yes, I know.
I don't know if we want to do that to Victor. Victor might end up in some trouble if we put him on the air like that.
We could
Alice
blur his
isn't
face out,
Alice
right?
isn't gonna tell anybody.
Right.
All
Alice
I know is
Alice
that,
might
all I
like
know
I
is
won't, but
all I
Alice
know
ain't
is
no
that
snitch.
sounds like 4-star reviews. Okay.
Oh
That
my
just sounds
God.
like 4-star reviews all day long.
Maybe more, maybe 4.5.
Go-
I
Yeah.
don't know.
on
I
Yelp
do
and
Riot
read-
Girl. That sounds like assault.
read some of the reviews
Yeah,
on
it's
Yelp of the
salt.
place. It's I'm not exaggerating anything.
That sounds like a salty potato.
That is
Yeah.
quite
Oh,
the
yeah.
story.
And Potato still goes back. You still like that, but you love the place, right?
I was just there 2 weeks ago, but
Yeah.
I found
Sounds
well
hard
then
to break.
Victor wasn't there. I was all worried because Victor wasn't there, so I had to deal with Sasha, and he's the exact opposite. He's got like the softest hands, and he's so nice, and he's like, "Beautiful boy, beautiful." He's like so the opposite of like Victor. So I think that's why they have him. Like one just beats the shit out of you, and the other one like is just sensual and soft. And then I asked him like where Victor was, and he said that he's gone forever. So I thought he died. And then I talked to someone else that spoke like a little better English there, and they said no, he just went to
Jail.
Yakistan or one of those countries like over there. I don't know the name of it, but he's just like visiting his family for like a couple months or something, and he'll be back. And I was like, okay, great.
He's going to a continuing ed course on shoving hoses up asses.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what it is they
Sasha.
sent him to school so he could get a better education and come back.
Yeah. So this is how we write our songs. Something horrible happens to me, and then we write a song about it.
Yes.
Wow. That's an amazing story.
It's a good one.
I don't know if I've told this story before to Alice. Do you guys want to hear about the time I got roofied?
Yeah.
Of course.
So
Wait, why are we excited to hear a story about it?
yes.
I mean, I'm sorry this happened, but yes, please tell
I've
us.
already been sad
Um,
about it. You can laugh.
So it was actually
I
the
was sad
first
for you.
so it was actually the first time I met Big Gorgeous and Young Potato. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Um
I was gonna say if I had those, I'd use them on myself. I wouldn't share.
I was like, oh, that didn't translate as a joke. No, I was 19 and it was like I had moved out like 6 months ago, and it was like the first thing I did with my family like since I'd moved out, and we all went on a cruise to like Central America. We went through Belize, and a couple other places, but we went to this island called Roatan. And I was really hungover on the boat, and when we anchored and they were like getting people off the boat, and I was asleep, and my mom was like, no, come on, you don't want to miss this. I'm like, I do though. I just want to stay here and die. I don't want to go. And she's like, no, you're coming. So I went with them from the big boat to a smaller boat that goes to this tiny island. And we from the boat, we get on a bus, and the tour guide, as we're going through this place, which is gorgeous, she's telling us the population is something like 3,000 people. And we pass by, we go from like one end of the island, like through the island to the other shore, or the other beach. And as we go, we see like there's like a pharmacy / bank, and there's two dudes with AKs and vests on, guarding this pharmacy bank.
Jeez.
That was pretty awesome. And so apparently, just a side note, apparently Bill Gates has a mansion there. We drove past that. That was like, he has a huge estate out there. But anyway, we got to this the tourist area, which was just a roped off section of beach, and they were like, don't go past these areas. And I immediately go lay down in a lawn chair and just like trying to kill my hangover. And then my buddy who came with us was like, hey man, I found a guy who can get us some weed. And we're two stupid teenagers, so we go with this guy named Ralphie. I got roofied by a guy named Ralphie.
Ralphie. That's
True
a good
story.
nickname.
Write a song about that.
Ralphie.
Yeah. So we walk with this guy probably like 3/4 of a mile or a mile down the beach. And he's like, I know a good smoke spot. So we're walking with this guy, and we're basically walking around the beach, or around the island, because we're on the beach. So we're like, and it's a tiny island. So we're like walking the curvature of the island. And he sits down, he's like, this is a good place to smoke. And he pulls out the most dankest islander bud. Like this weed is incredible. And I get so stoned, and I'm so cottonmouth. And he's like, hey, before we go back, you guys should come with me to the local bar. It's not a tourist bar, it's where all the locals go. And we're like, okay. So we go so we go with them into the island. We had been walking around the shore the whole time, but we go into the island, and the bar is a shack with 4 posts and like a thatch roof, and there's a guy standing behind a bar. And off just a little bit, not like not far at all, there is this black idling Escalade.
Oh,
and I'm thinking, as stoned and naive as I am, I'm still thinking that's really weird. Why what's going on with that? And so then he's like, hey, I'll order the drinks for you guys, because he doesn't speak English. So he goes up and he brings drinks back, and they're these like banana rum things, and they're really thick, you can't see through them. And I'm really cottonmouth, so I just drink the whole thing. This is down so quick that I feel my straw tapping on something. I drank it so quick it hadn't dissolved all the way, or it was cold. I don't know, but there was like a hard tablet down in the bottom, and I was like, my straw was hitting something, and I didn't really know what it was. But then I started to feel really weird, and I'm like, oh shit. And my friend I was with is allergic to bananas, so he took one sip.
Bananas.
Yeah, he took one sip, and he's like, oh, I can't drink this. But I went to the bathroom. I just excused myself, and I was looking. The bathroom was enclosed. It wasn't a porta potty, but there was a little enclosed area. I don't remember if it had I guess it did have a roof. But anyway, I went in there and I was looking in the mirror, trying not to fall asleep. And like my friend eventually came in there and he was like, "Hey man, you've been in here a long time. Is everything okay?" And I'm like, "We gotta get the fuck out of here." And we just took off and split. And he had to like basically carry me, like I was half walking and he's half carrying me because it was a long walk back to where we were. We got back there and I laid down in a lawn chair and passed out for like an hour or two.
Jeez,
Ugh.
that's crazy.
You're lucky
Yeah.
you got out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you probably wouldn't have had you not saw, because that's a lot of people say they got roofied, but you don't really know. Some people maybe they did, but they just wake up like really messed up the next day. But you actually saw the tablet, and
Well,
that
yeah.
was your clue to get out of there. If you didn't
Well,
see
fine.
that, you would
Yeah.
have know what to do.
Plus, I
Having
mean,
a buddy that was
Yeah,
sober.
if your buddy didn't, well, if he wasn't allergic to bananas, you guys could have been in a very precarious situation.
We would have been in sex trafficking, or I would have got my organs taken, or both.
Crazy.
Wow.
They wouldn't take my organs. I'm too beautiful. They'd put me in sex trafficking.
For sure.
Yeah.
For a while, and then
And then they take my organs.
then the organ.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe non-vital ones first. Like one kidney.
Yeah. Yeah, because you could still work on one kidney for sure.
Yeah.
True.
That's the most
Testicle.
economical way.
What'd you say, Cordy?
That's the most economical way. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of how factory farming works.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, so that was my roofie story.
That's
Hope
crazy.
you guys enjoyed it.
And because some people have banana allergies, we have Rhetoric rabbit hole. So food allergies are a good thing.
Yeah.
Food
Do you-
allergies save lives.
Do you want the roofie song to be like fast or more of like a slow love song when we write it?
Yeah. So two things. Roofie Ralphie is one song, and the other song is Food Allergies Save Lives.
Yeah.
It's got to be like a Calypso Islandy kind of track.
Yeah.
There we go. We don't have one of those yet. We'll have
We
to do
don't.
No.
Yeah. And then it should break into like a punk beat eventually.
that. They all do eventually.
Yeah.
Wonder what he's doing.
Roofie Ralphie?
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, honestly, he's probably missing some organs at this point.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's dead.
Yeah, he's probably dead. Those types.
Dead,
Nobody's loyal to
incarcerated.
anybody. They all turn on you.
So do you guys think that the human race will like die in 100 years, or will we get like to space and like branch out?
Oh, that's a good question.
True.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
That was very Miss Swan of you. I like it.
Like will our fate just be like we fucked around and blew up, or will we like branch out before that happens?
We found out.
Will we fuck around and find out, or will
I think
we?
we're branching out.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna fuck around, find out, blow up, and then the explosions are gonna projectile some of us to branch out. So
Right.
Or
everything.
we all become dildos and mermaids. right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That sounds
That's
fun.
The future is dildo and mermaids. That's
There
it.
you go. I'm down.
Yeah. I have any of you ever done DMT?
Yeah. Oh, what's DMT?
What is that?
Is
It's
that
it's a psychedelic.
Oh.
You smoke it, it only
Dildo Metatropics.
is
Yeah.
that
It's
I've done-
it's DMT is dimethyltryptamine.
Is
It's naturally
dildo
excreted
Metatropics.
from your brain, but if
is that
you-
like ecstasy ish?
no.
No. No, I've never done it then.
I haven't.
No, we didn't know what it was.
Like Big Gorgeous is like, is that like boofing ecstasy? Oh no, then I haven't done that.
He's like, is this happiness?
Who would ever boof drugs? Not me.
It's a I just brought it up because it's a crazy thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like you go somewhere. Like, I don't think it's a hallucination. Like, because you black out and you go somewhere. It's
You
not
say
like,
that, but you also become a chair.
no, that's like salvia.
Huh.
What about if you boofed DMT?
That's a good question. Big Gorgeous, you could be the first one to try it.
To boof it. I thought, to be completely honest, I thought it just said if you boof TNT. I'm like, that would suck.
So what
Whatever it
is
is, he'll make me do it first.
Yeah, I'll let Potato try it out. If it proves safe, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm not a degenerate. I don't know what it means to boof something.
Oh,
Me
would
neither.
someone like to explain?
Stick it in somewhere. Stick it in an orifice.
Yeah, it's ingesting or taking a substance through the anal cavity.
Oh, like a suppository.
Yes,
Yeah.
but usually
I thought
boofing.
medicine had advanced past that, and
Well-
doctors weren't being creepy anymore.
Well, one of the things is back in the 70s, people used to blow cocaine in each other's ass. You know, as a party thing.
That sounds fun.
Easy. New song. You
I
guys
mean,
are gonna have to write a whole extra
I wouldn't know
album. You
because I
haven't
was
even released
young
the
in the
next one yet.
70s. I was a kid, so
Nothing works like a good old liquid enema. They're timeless. They'll go on forever.
There is a place for them.
If when you were a kid and you saw all these older kids, boofing cocaine, where you're like, oh man, when I'm older, I want to do that.
I mean, yeah, who wouldn't?
well, I mean that's the thing. It's kind of like Gorgeous was saying with the enemas. You know, but a friend of mine taught me about colonic irrigation, which is like beyond enema. So I'm wondering if we could like make a DMT solution that colonically could irrigate, and that might, bring you to a whole nother realm.
And then we could hold
Sure.
down Young Potato and make him try it.
Yeah. You won't have to hold them down. This is
I
a
was about
concept that you're not understanding yet. You don't have to hold them down for this.
Not for anything involving ass play. I'm just in. So yeah.
Can I hold you down anyway?
He'll get behind it.
Yeah, you can hold me down.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure I give myself colonics all the time. I have one of those tushy things. Did you ever hear those? It's like a bidet you put on your toilet. You guys have seen tushies. Yeah, that's what they're called. I have them up at the house and squirts your butthole. And like sometimes when you're squirting your shitty butthole with the bidet, sometimes your butthole like locks up like a time lock at the bank, and it still has like a bunch of water up there. That's like considered a colonic, right?
I'm learning so much today.
Hey, I'm not really an expert, but that's very European of you to have a
Yes.
bidet. I'm a little.
You guys need your own
envious.
drink called gin and colonic.
Yes. And it's very sustainable. I don't use a lot of toilet paper and I don't use a lot of water because of it.
I love
So
that, Cordy.
it's very sustainable.
I'm in the band now.
The drink of the night everywhere we go, gin and colonic.
Gin and colonic.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's another song. She wrote like 5 songs. during-
Yeah.
I'm the band.
We do have a new game we want to play where we want to record this, so don't steal the idea. But
Don't do
we
it.
spend a lot of time in San Francisco, and Big Gorgeous can tell you there's a lot of poo on the cement, like outside when you're walking around.
There is.
So we want to play this game called Human or Animal. Now, it goes in different stages. So the first thing you do is you use your eyes. So you're 10 feet away, you look at it, and sometimes you just know. Human. Done. Lock it in. But other times, if you don't pass the eye test, then number 2, it gets a little harder. Then you have to smell next. So you have to get down and you have to smell the poo. And if you cannot determine after sight and smell, you gotta eat the poo. And then you'll know
I don't
for
know.
sure.
I think
Would this
think
be
you
a
should
great
do a
game? Like on the
consistency test
streets?
before you result to eating shit.
He didn't say anything about eating it. I mean, that would be gross. He's just saying.
Yeah, you just gotta taste it to know.
Yeah.
And you're
Can
gonna be
one
the
taste
host.
without consumption?
Yeah. Human or animal?
Yeah. It's a great
That is-
game. I'm all for it. It's a great game.
That is a great game for you to play and for me to watch.
We'll just
So there's a
Exactly.
question that Alex started asking, and I think we've only asked it once on the show, so you guys can be the second. And I was so furious because we actually got a really good answer, and I was like, "This is not a regular question, but for you guys, I'll bring it out. Have you ever shit yourself?
Yeah.
And can
all
you
the
tell me
time,
about
yeah.
it?"
Like, I mean, fuck, potato. Have you ever shit
You
your
guys are like, "Duh," all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Big Gorgeous has a story for you
About him.
Okay.
about the last time when
The
I was out.
fucking- He shit on a fucking chair at my house. Like, he like,
projectile.
yeah,
And we can tell
projectile.
Wait a
that
minute.
this happened
Wait a minute,
tonight.
stop. You're making this out to be disgusting. I am about music. I'm very musical. So I have this unique ability with my butt cheeks.
Stand up and show him
'Cause
how you do it.
I have like decent cheeks. I will say it, decent cheeks. And I can make musical notes. Like I can hit a C easily. Like anytime I can hit a C note with like my
Do it
fart.
now. Do it
Well,
now.
He like wiggles his cheeks.
Do you have any?
Can we fact check this, niece?
oh,
Can we
wait,
match
wait,
it?
What are
to
you
a
saying?
C?
What are you going to get me? Like beans or something to eat, or what do you?
Can he do a C with his butt?
Oh, I
cheeks?
could probably
Can
show
we
you. I could
test?
show you like I have video on my phone of this, but she's going into the piano. She's gonna play this. She's playing a C to see if I can hit it.
Oh, she's got it good. Okay.
All right, here we go. Less work
But-
for us.
But listen, so I'm really good at hitting certain notes, and Big Gorgeous and I were together, and he has this gorgeous yellow chair, and
Right.
his
Brown
kitchen.
now.
Used to be white.
He's terrible. He's an awful person. So he he
The
pulls
yellow
down
snow
his,
chair.
he pulls down his pants and grabs his cheek, and a fart's about to come out because I know that's his move. Like, he grabs his cheeks and then wiggles them when the fart comes out. And he's just like,
That's how you hit the notes. Well, I was
Right.
but I was trying for an A minor, which is not easy. Go ahead.
I mean,
Right.
it is the relative minor of C major, so fair, close
Yeah.
enough.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so he turned around, he's grabbing his cheeks. I'm like, oh fuck, what an asshole. And then like, but no noise comes out and his eyes get really big. And I'm just like, dude, no, he didn't. And then I look behind him and there's projectile fucking like, it looked like Manwich, like in like Manwich shit. Like there's like a whole fucking skunk stripe like on this yellow chair. It's on a yellow fucking chair. Like it couldn't be worse.
Did you ever see someone like shoot themselves in the head in a movie and how their brains splatter on the wall?
Right. That's how his shit was.
But the angle of this, like if my butt cheek was here, normally you would see a little downgrade, right? No, I managed to loop it up in the air when it hit the chair.
Right.
I'm
no,
not one of those crime
Let's
scene
go.
professionals for shit.
he had like a Larry Bird arc to it. Like when it was disgusting. It was gross. And you're an awful person.
Do you still have the chair?
Yes, it's in the studio.
Can we auction it off to the fans, or do you love it?
That would be great. That would be a big item.
Yeah, that would be a huge item. I don't think there's no stain on it though.
Oh, what'd you do to it?
It's not a cloth chair. It's like a kitchen chair. So
It's like a
it's-
kitchen
Oh.
chair. It does have like a cushion thing on the bottom. Like
Oh, yeah,
It
you're
just
right.
wiped clean. You ruined it.
What
Right.
did I do then? I just got like a wet paper towel or something.
You cleaned it because I'm like, you got to clean your shit up like an adult.
It's only,
You
it's only
spoiled
there,
the
right?
soil.
But
Hey,
yes,
even though he did that to your wonderful yellow chair, can you still appreciate the art of like what he was able to achieve? Like this
Thank
this Jackson Pollock he painted for you.
yes, sure, exactly. Yes, I was overly impressed and then really pissed at the same time. But yes,
I think you were pissed first, actually.
Yeah.
right. Maybe I didn't get happy at all actually on the moment now that I think about it because there was shit on the chair. But
It's kind of like
so to answer your question, yes, we've shit. I mean, we're not speaking for Ms. Foot, but me and the potato have shat ourselves and on other surfaces several times each.
And other selves.
you have a good shit yourself story, Big Gorgeous.
Did we beat your last answer, Cordy, of the first time you asked that question?
Very different stories. Very different stories. Hard
Yeah.
to say. Hard to say. Very different guests.
Well, I mean, I guess you probably knew the type of reaction you were going to get from us, like, because was the other person like apprehensive about telling you?
They weren't apprehensive about it, but I wasn't expecting, like, I was expecting this reaction from you. I
Right.
wasn't expecting such cooperation from them. Although they weren't somebody that took themselves too seriously, I wasn't expecting them to be like, no, I've never shit myself ever.
Right.
But I
no.
was just like, oh, this isn't a good question, Alex. What are you doing? And then I was like, oh no, this is a good story. No, he's gonna ask all the time now. You're ruining my podcast. Stop it.
Big
I,
Gorgeous.
I
Okay.
think it's a valid question for anyone. I think
Yeah.
it's a great interview. It's a great icebreaker. It does a lot of things.
Big Gorgeous.
starting
you
to-
ever shit yourself in public.
Yeah, I shit myself when I
In
first
pubic?
when I first moved to San Francisco. I was out here and I was with the person that I live with, and it was the first time I was out here with her, and I shit the car. Like I went for I was in the car and I shit. Like
I've done that.
I went for a jog and I got in the car and I thought I had to fart, and it was a new car also, and I had a runny shit in the pants, and I had to, like, you know, there was like a piece of poster board in the back that I had to sit on. It was a mess.
You were treated like a farm animal. I love it.
Yeah.
I love when people treat you like a farm animal.
Yeah. I didn't shit through the shorts though. Like, it was contained. It was just, but there was a lot. But yeah, it was a brown bomb for sure.
I'm starting to get
what a
into
first
Brown Bomb, new
impression.
song.
Yeah. Would you, I mean, would you stay with someone that did that in your car? Like the first time you invited them to your house?
The first time you invited them to your
First
house.
time. I don't
That's
know if
tough.
you can get
That's
past.
a big. That's
It's
a big
tough.
test
It's one of
right
those
there.
things where you either leave immediately or you stay together forever.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
mean,
That's
at
right.
at that point, it was love, you know?
You made
That
it
might
through
be.
that.
That might be like a good test. You know, you're on a
Yeah.
first
If you really
date
love
sometimes,
someone, just shit.
and you're
in
really
that-
into
Just
them.
try it.
To
Just
find
try
out
it, Alice.
if they're really going to be that into you, just go ahead and have a quote unquote little accident in their car the first time, and if
Oops.
they
That's
hit you
the
back
new
up-
litmus test.
yeah,
Right.
if they hit you for a second date, they're the one.
The second test is you do the exact same thing, but you look them dead in the eyes so they know it wasn't an accident. And that
Take that.
No,
the
if you
second
stay with
test.
that person, you're a psycho.
that.
I've heard of red flags, but brown flags, I don't know.
It was
That's
it's
a brown
called true
flag.
love. It's true love. It was
I'm
like a
starting to-
shotgun. It was a shotgun fart. Like, it was bad. It was. I felt the bubble. It was crazy.
I'm starting to really get into I travel a lot to go on roller coasters, and I'm in hotels a lot, and I'm really starting to observe a lot of hot tub signs. I do reviews of roller coasters and pizza, different foods, but now I'm starting to review signs. Pool rules, like they say, like, if you've had diarrhea in the last 2 weeks, you're not to get in the hot tub.
diarrhea.
Now,
It's
who in the
diarrhea.
world hasn't had diarrhea in the last 2 weeks? There isn't one human being alive ever that hasn't had diarrhea in the last
At
2
least
weeks.
not one.
That's true. I
At
drink
least
way
not
too
one
much coffee.
American.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
But it's amazing, like, all these things that you see on these, like, pool rules. I just love, like, and one day I want to do, like, all 18 of them at one time. Like, run, shit, blow my nose, sneeze, all in the hot tub at the exact same dive. I want to, diving, yeah.
Have a
So
bloody
I wanted
nose.
to talk
like-
about that. Roller coasters. Last time we talked, it was 321, I believe. Is that still holding up, or has it changed?
Yeah, it changed by 2. We went to Hershey Park today, which is kind
Hershey.
of close to where we live. And I've been there
Hershey.
many times, but they have 2 coasters I haven't been on that I got on today. So I'm up to, I guess I'm up to 320.
That's awesome. What an
Yeah.
achievement. Have you been to Dollywood?
No.
That's coming up in 2023.
Yeah, that's on the list for next year. Yeah.
I want to go.
Okay.
Just there.
you
we
guys
beg
there.
people to come with us all the time. Like, please, we should put out a roller coaster schedule, and then anybody can just join in for the fun. I think that would be great.
think
I
we should
have
we'll
a
to do
really
remote.
great, I have a really funny Dollywood story, but for another time. I'll
All
tell you
right.
about it.
Yeah, roller coasters and haunted houses are coming up, so it's time for the haunts.
I don't do haunted houses. I'm scared that somebody's gonna come in there with a real chainsaw and be like, "This is my moment." They're not gonna see this coming. They're just gonna
Gosh,
be
that's
like,
so
"Oh,
true.
this is great." You
That's what
spooked
makes it
me
fun,
good."
though.
I'm with
See-
you, Courtney. I'm with you, Courtney. I am scared shitless of haunted houses. Al, I've been to one with Al years ago, and I almost ripped his shirt off. Like I was grabbing his collar. Do you
You
remember
do
that?
that every night.
I do. Yeah.
Do you remember that? It was-
I
where
actually
was it?
have the
I think it was Virginia Beach. It was a really shitty one. It was just one of those stupid ones on the beach. And like I almost ripped his t-shirt off. I was white knuckling on his collar. Like it was, I'm so scared of them.
Yeah, I treat like every haunted house I go into, I have just this ability to pretend it's completely real. Like I fall like 12 to 15 times every time I'm in there,
You ever shit
kick and
yourself?
scream. Like everybody, sometimes they have to like stop they're like, stop. They're like, this guy, he's hurt. What's going on? And I'm just like, no, shut up, keep going, keep chasing me. Like I love it.
Nice.
Okay, so best coaster, worst coaster ever.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Well, of course, if you know my OCD is I have every one of them ranked.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Oh.
every one of them
Is there
ranked.
any way you could like submit us like the list if you have it officially so that we could link it for the fans?
Sure. Yeah, I could send you. I could send you the whole list. But so what I typically do is there's 158 that I have ranked because these are the ones that like are at least good enough to want to go on again. And then there's like another like 140 or whatever the math is to equal the 323. They're just bad, like kiddie coasters and just, wild mouses that you see at every park that I would never go on again. So I don't really have a lot of them. Like I have them on the spreadsheet that I've been on them, but not necessarily ranked. So there's like 100 just like awful
Just
ones
the
that I've
notch
been
in the
on.
belt.
Yeah, and I'm all about like quantity. Like when I went to like Cedar Point with 21 coasters, like before I could get on my favorite coaster a second time, I had to get on all 21 first so I could kind of jot them all down. But my favorite one is Steel Vengeance, which is at Cedar Point, and there's this company called Rocky Mountain Construction that is coming in now, and they're taking these like old rickety wood coasters that like beat people up too much, and they're putting this like crazy steel track on this wood structure, and they're super smooth, but they just look like monsters. I'm gonna see if I could show you a picture of what Steel Vengeance looks like because it's just insane. And Shirley goes to a lot of the parks with me, and I have to go on every ride first to determine if she can get on it or not. So I'm like her guinea pig.
I have to go whiz. I'll be right back.
Oh, you do?
Have fun, but not too much fun.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna hit a note. Oh no, I think it was almost shit. Never mind.
Oh, the chair's brown. We're all good.
See,
We were talking
it's-
about shitting our pants. I almost did it. Like right now.
It's hard.
Nice. That would
See,
be.
see, tell me if that's in. Can you see that?
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They like doubled the size of this old wooden coaster and then added that crazy steel track. So
Elliston Nagaris.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, just trying to go to all these different, and Six Flags it's like the best. Like I know I don't think you guys have any Six Flags really close to you, but
We don't
there's
have to.
yeah,
You're
there's
right.
13 of them in the country, and you buy like one pass for like $120, and you can go to like all 13 parks. So it's like an incredible value.
I thought
Yeah.
we used to have one just right up in Kentucky or somewhere right up there.
There's one in Atlanta.
Yeah, at Six Flags over Georgia, and Kentucky Kingdom used to be a Six Flags park, but when
That's right.
Superman cut that girl's leg off on the drop tower, Six Flags sold it, so they're back to being like an independent park now.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah, yeah.
Good Lord.
What was your least favorite roller coaster? Did you say already?
Well, I just said there's like so many of them that are just like
my bad.
terrible. Yeah, and I have, but they're the funniest videos that we post on Instagram because she doesn't go on the crappy little kid one, so it's just really weird and creepy. You see me
With a bunch of little kids.
with a bunch of little kids. I usually have my hair up or something, and there's like all these like little kids around me, and then
Nice.
I stand in line with all of them, and it's like,
I took mushrooms at Dollywood. I guess I will tell the story. And I thought it would just like, oh, hey, Big Gorgeous. I was just telling them I took mushrooms when I went to Dollywood, and I was thinking it would heighten the experience, like make it more, just, more roller coastery. And what ended up happening is I took too much, and I just like totally disassociated. I just like it was like I was watching someone else ride the roller coasters. Like we did one of those ones that goes straight up and comes straight down.
Yep.
And we were in free fall, and I'm looking at the ground, and there's like no adrenaline or like raised heart rate. And I'm just kind of thinking about like, this is interesting things that people do like for entertainment. Like, isn't it fascinating? Like I was just getting like wow, this like wow, it's just cool. Or like we did one of the wooden roller coasters, and I'm just like, huh, like at any moment, like potentially one of these things could snap, or like a chance, 1 in a million chance. But like I don't know, I was just getting wrapped up in the like looking at it philosophically, I guess. Ironically,
Silly humans.
yeah, silly mortals. I was thinking, ironically, when I went back, because I've been there a couple times,
Goofy beans.
the Sky Needle thing shut down because the same company has one in Florida that a kid died on, and it turns out that company went out of business, and so they're no longer maintaining the machines. So the people maintaining them aren't the same ones that built it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my Dollywood story.
Well, we'll definitely let you know because we will be down there for sure next year. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
because
oh, sorry.
there's 4 in that family that with Dollywood. What's the other one called?
Silver Dollar
Silver Dollar City.
I haven't
That's
been there.
probably where's that, like Arkansas?
No, that's I think Missouri.
Oh, it's Missouri, maybe. Yeah, there's a couple of them that are a couple states apart. So yeah. But I'm hoping to get to 500 in 3 years. That's my goal.
Nice. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I support your goal.
Thank you.
Have you done any out of the country?
No, that's so
That's
crazy.
also in 2023.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you guys going?
We're gonna do. I was at Hershey today. My buddy I went to high school with is actually he helps build roller coasters, and I haven't seen him in a really long time. But he was there today, and he told me about this. It's like a European roller coaster club, and you just basically like pay them. I don't know how much money it is, and you fly somewhere in Europe, wherever the start is, and then they do like a 2-week adventure, so you don't have to do anything. Like you don't book hotels, you don't worry about transportation. It's just the bus picks you up like pretty much every day and takes you to a different amusement park.
But we'll definitely
Nice.
go to Disneyland Paris because I'm a Disney girl.
Yeah.
Nice. Who's your favorite Disney princess?
Ariel?
Yeah. What about you, young potato?
He doesn't know them.
Oh,
Cinderella.
No, fuck Cinderella.
damn. That was a hard.
She can't even keep track of her shoes.
My favorite Disney.
I also love.
Oh, I know my favorite Disney princess, Oscar the Grouch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's SeaWorld.
That's
I like Snow White, but I like the version of Snow White that's in that Rammstein video where she's snorting gold drugs.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
And speaking of that, I think you knew Big Gorgeous, but I went to see Rammstein last night.
Oh shit.
And it is why I saw them. I went to Prague to see them 4 years ago, just to see them. That's the only reason I went to Prague. I didn't even know what, I still don't even, oh, it's in the Czech Republic. I didn't even know what country I was in when I was there. They are like, I am just like so into live music and theatrics. There isn't even a band that's a close second. That's how amazing they are. It's just, I cannot even describe it. If you ever get a chance to see them, and I have like they always give me like so many ideas. Like if we had like a budget and like a huge stage, the stuff that we could be, it's just insane. I'm going to see him again next week as well in New York.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would love to see them.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Alice is starting to fall asleep. I don't think she's bored. She's just a sleepyhead. Or maybe she's starting to wake up. Who can really say?
Ah,
But I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us, Miss Sugarfoot, for the first time.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. What was the date you're coming back through town again?
January 11th.
January 11th. Alice, do not be late. Also be on the lookout for the new track. What was it called?
Psychic surgery.
Psychic surgery.
And
It's all
music
about
video.
Psychic surgery, along with the video.
Yeah.
Coming soon. This
Coming
fall. Have a good night, Alice. This court is now adjourned.